So my name is Camry. I manage CarePortal here in Tulare County. So if I haven't met you yet, nice to meet you. I try to go around, but I haven't met everyone yet. So welcome to the community gathering. And before we really get started, I wanted to invite Pastor Danny up. He's going to pray for our time together. And I just wanted to thank Radiant Church for hosting the event as well.
Yeah, we want to just welcome you today, and we're really thankful that we have a space to host this. And I know CarePortal, we are actually going on about a year now of using just the tool that it is, and we have a lot of testimonies that have come from it. And it has been a great way to be outward focused into our community and meet some real tangible needs very quickly too. So it's just been a great testimony to see how God's used that in our own church body and also how it's impacted our community. So we're excited to continue this and to support the work that is connected to CarePortal. So I'd love to pray over our time, and I want to just invite you to join with me as I pray. Lord, we just thank you for just the opportunity to be a church together. And we thank you, Lord, that your heart is always outward focused, Lord. And we're grateful that we can participate and partner with you in the work that you're doing. And Lord, I just ask that you would be blessed by our conversations, by the different things that we're going to wrestle through today. And Lord, we just thank you for just the partnership that we have in you, just the relationship that we can enjoy with you. So Lord, we give you this time, and we just bless you within your name. Amen.
So I'm just going to go over a little bit about CarePortal, but just before we go into that, I just wanted everyone to know kind of who's in the room. So I'm going to introduce, so if you're part of the network, when I say who you are, just stand up. So any church partners, anyone involved with the church, with CarePortal, if you can stand up. And then any agency partners, Child Welfare Services, the Spirinet, anybody else? And then any community business partners. And then also to point Ty out, he's with our implementing partner here in Tulare County, Reaching Higher. I won't make you stand up again. All right. So, we're gonna today just a little bit about our agenda. We're gonna go over why we're here, the network, which we kind of just went over, celebration, all that CarePortal has done, and the impact that the churches have made and the businesses have made over the last almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in January, and then just next steps on what we can do next. So, why we are here. Sorry, the slide. Next slide. So why we're here? Because the child. The child is always going to be at the center of care. So the child is then in turn wrapped around by their family, which is wrapped around by the church, which is wrapped around the community. So we all work together as one to support the child. Another reason we're here is because the Bible tells us to. The Bible tells us to love our neighbor, look after the orphans, the widows, feed the needy, clothe the needy. We're just called to love our neighbor and treat everyone like we would want to be treated. What is CarePortal? So for the new faces here that don't even know what CarePortal is, CarePortal is just a technology platform that connects the church and the community to the children and families who are in need in our own community. So how it works is a social worker or caseworker from an approved agency can submit a request. They've been trained on how to enter requests, and then from there, the local churches are alerted. Once they enter the request, the churches that are involved in CarePortal get alerted of the request that is entered and how they can help the family in need. And then it gives a chance for the churches to work together to help meet the needs. So sometimes a caseworker will request just one item. A church or a business can fund and do the one item, but sometimes it's multiple items, so that's when a church is able to work together, or all the different churches are able to work together to serve the family in need. You can always view open requests in CarePortal at careportal.org. Anybody can, or they're public, so anybody can view the open requests whenever you want, but you can also be alerted. So here in Tulare County, the reasons we have CarePortal here is because we do have a local need here in Tulare County. So there's currently just over, or as of August, there was just over 1,300 children that were involved in foster care, and about just under 750 calls that were made into the hotline. Last year, in 2021, there were just under 9,000 reports of child abuse and neglect. 900 of those reports were substantiated, so that means they were found to be true. At some point in the year, there was just over 1,500 children that were in foster care, and 131 adoptions were finalized. But there's 400 plus churches in Tulare County who can help these families, help these children, help these vulnerable, these families in these vulnerable times. So again, CarePortal is just a tool. It only works because people like you are using the tool. Essentially, it's not Camry from CarePortal that's knocking on the family's door. It's Janae from Seven Oaks that's knocking on the door to invite them to Seven Oaks, or whatever church you may be. It's the church that's knocking on the door. So sometimes the family doesn't even know, or most times the family doesn't even know about CarePortal. It's more the church is making the impact. So there's different parts of the network. As you can see when people were standing up, there's the church, there's the agency, there's community responders and community champions. Community responders and community champions are the ones that are able to fund requests, and then it goes through the church to meet the family and make the meaningful connection. So CarePortal is actually nationwide and in Canada, but it's implemented by local organizations throughout the nation. So here in Tulare County, it's implemented by Reaching Higher, which is a faith-based nonprofit, which also offers like a 7-on-7 football program and an after-school program, and then they implement CarePortal. Some of our requesting agencies, our main ones include the Tulare County Health and Human Services, which houses our child welfare services, and then AspiraNet, which is a foster family agency, more specifically with their transitional youth. And then the Care Pregnancy Center is also one. And then Golden State, the Tulare Police Department, Oak Valley School Districts are also part of our requesting agencies. And then throughout Tulare County, there's 19 churches that are currently involved in CarePortal. So it's really great because they're kind of county-wide, so a little bit from everywhere, sprinkled everywhere. But those are some of our local churches. And then some of our community champions are Paint Construction, Spirit Radio, the Downtown Dream in Tulare, as well as the Treasury, which the Treasury can provide affordable furniture for some of our needs as well. So now we can get to the good part, the fun part. So since launching CarePortal in Tulare County early last year. We served just over 700 children via CarePortal. Alone in August was very busy. It was 116 children that we served. So that was by far the biggest. Since our launch, it's been 266 requests have been met, which is about 88% of the requests. So nationally with CarePortal, it's about 70-75. So we're rocking it here in Tulare County. And then we have made just under $240,000 of an economic impact in Tulare County as well. California, you see the stats, over 9,300, and nationally just under 150,000. So we're doing big things here. So now I want to invite just some of our speakers who are actually doing the work. So first up, if I can invite or join me in welcoming Yadira Lopez and Andrea Garcia. They're from Child Welfare Services.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Yadira Lopez, and I'm one of the agency supervisors with Child Welfare Services. I'm embedded in our emergency response unit, and I want to say it's nice to see Camry continuing on her practice as a social worker. We miss her, but we know she's going to be doing great things with CarePortal. So thank you, Camry, for having us. So I want to talk to you about how we see living and breathing the impact that CarePortal has. So I've been with Child Welfare Services now 14 years. I know, I look like I'm 21, right? I started when I was 10. So I got to live the time as a case carrying social worker when we didn't have this great tool. So I had pre-CarePortal time, so I want to talk about that. So before we started this great partnership, what would happen is if a family were to identify a need, the social worker then would do what's called an email blast. They would send out this email to everyone in our agency saying, hey, I met with this family. They're in need of, for example, the refrigerator went out. They have food that perished as a reason. They're in need of food today. Who can help? Then that responsibility fell on our agency staff to look through our garages, check with our neighbors, with our families. And as you've seen with the stats being shared, the needs are high in our county. So a lot of times those needs were never met just because there wasn't enough funding available or support or resources. We would reach out to community partners such as the Family Resource Centers, but them too, there's a lot of needs in this community, so resources were limited. Well, with CarePortal, which I am so happy to hear that it's now been 2 years. I feel like this partnership was way overdue, so I've seen the impact in just such a short time. So CarePortal came alongside with community churches, and I'm so happy also to meet our community business partners that are a part of this, to meet these vast range of needs. These actions and development and practice has developed into one of the greatest and strongest resources I can attest to in Child Welfare Services history in Tulare County, so thank you guys for that. A majority of my role is guiding and supporting assessments and decision-making with emergency response social workers who are out in the field assessing, meeting with the families, and identifying needs. So when a family says, like, I actually do need something, like I'm struggling with this, there's a financial need, I'm not even meeting basic needs, what happens then is these emergency response social workers will then submit the request to the CarePortal. The timeliness has been impressive. We will hear back sometimes within 30 minutes that somebody in the community has raised their hand and said, I'm here to walk alongside of you guys, help you guys, and provide this need. Part of my role is also reviewing and approving the requests that are coming through. One thing I can tell you is that when we're going out to a family's home, it's in a very dark season. It's in a season where they are in need, they're struggling with something, there could be some neglect going on, some abuse, so you guys are also stepping up and coming alongside the time of a delicate need. It's not uncommon for families to be hesitant to talk to child welfare services. We have a very scary reputation, but the fact is that these workers are really trying to help to ensure the safety, the well-being, and for families to be able to independently continue to care for their children even without our support. So the time of engagement is very small. And for CarePortal to be able to provide such an impact and so many resources in such a short window is amazing. Even after our time has come to end with the family, when we are stepping out, when it is safe to do so, CarePortal continues. I hear the outcomes. I hear the stories that are coming out of this. I hear how these families are responding with gratitude and appreciation. And it is appreciation and gratitude for you guys. So I would like to invite Andrea Garcia, who is one of our emergency response social workers who's out in the field, to kind of share some of the stories that she has come across.
Good afternoon, you guys. My name is Andrea Garcia. I've been with the county for the last 6 years, and I'm out of the emergency response unit. So I'm like the first face that families see. Like she said, it's usually during a dark time of their lives. We're not always greeted in the best way, but it's up to us to engage with our families. Like my supervisor had mentioned, prior to CarePortal, it was very hard for the agency to meet those needs because we were limited. We relied on our county workers, we also relied on the resource centers, and CarePortal has been a huge help for our families, providing that support and meeting those needs prior to like getting into foster care or even any type of court involvement. You guys also are helping with those children that are also in care, so foster children or even dependents. I think 80-12, those are the dependents that are aging out of foster care. So you guys have been a major help to our community. In my experience, I utilize CarePortal as a common practice when I respond to these investigations. So typically what I do when I identify a need and I make my assessment, I provide education about what you guys can help with. Ultimately, it's the church, it's you guys that are helping. I'm just providing that, I'm the middleman. I'm providing the help to get to you guys. One of the best experiences, well, I feel like I can go on and on about how many times you guys have helped, especially just specifically with my caseload. But one of the first experience I had, I think I was one of the first ones to submit a CarePortal request, and I met Claire that day. So I had a family who consisted of a mother who was pregnant and had 3 children. She was on her way to deliver her 4th child the following month, which meant that she would have 4 children under the age of 3 in her household. At that time, one of the concerns that we received was the conditions of the home. They had a very small apartment-like studio in the back of the house, and although the concerns were the conditions of the home, some of the things that we felt she identified was part of her needs was having a refrigerator or even having storage. So the children wouldn't have any type of hazards, it'd be clean in the household. Once I identified that need, I then submitted the request to CarePortal, and it was like really fast when I got the response back from Claire. She met up with me at the house, and they were able to provide, I think it was like a dresser, also it was like the baby changing table, the changing table. And I guess one of the best, why I remember that time so vividly, and it makes me happy to think about that time, is once we still had the investigation open, Claire actually responded to me, or replied to me to follow up, and she had mentioned that the mom had had her 4th baby, and she had gone out to the household, provided McDonald's for the little kiddos, and was able to provide additional needs. I think they needed like a mattress, a bed, and like Yadira said, sometimes when we're already stepping out, you guys are stepping in to provide additional help, support. And our families are grateful for that, because sometimes something that might be easy for us to be able to go up and buy, that's something out of their needs that they might not be able to afford. And I guess apart from just the donations you guys are providing, those little gestures, just like a little Happy Meal, checking in on them, that's what makes the families feel worthy of being helped. And I think that's what I really appreciate each and every one of you guys doing for our families, because we're connecting families to communities. We're connecting families to your congregations, where they know where to respond to, where to go to if they need help, and then we can step out and you guys are helping the community. So, thank you guys.
Thank you. All right, so next up will be a Spirit Knit. I know it says Lauren on the screen, but Lauren couldn't make it today, so I'm going to actually invite up Mallory and Angelica. They are also from a Spirit Knit. They're just going to speak on a Spirit Knit's behalf.
Hello, I am Angelica Weems, and I work with the Spirit Net, and this is Grace. She's also a life coach at Spirit Net, and so Spirit Net is a nonprofit organization assisting Tulare and Kings County youth, foster youth, who are exiting out of foster care. So most of our kids are 18 to 22 years old. We house them, and so they are going to school usually or working, and so our job is to help them to be independent so that they can go on and be independent on their own. So our program gives these young adults the support and guidance that they need in order to move on and to thrive. And CarePortal has been a really great help, because there are times where we can't meet all the needs of these kids and they don't have all the support that they need. So when we reach out and we do a CarePortal request, it's amazing how fast we get responses and how surprised our kids are that, oh, there's people that are there to help me. You know, they get emotional sometimes, and it's happy to see that there's an outlet for them. You know, not just us, but in the community as well. So that's something that we appreciate you guys for, because without you, I mean, we can't do this alone. It takes a village to help these kids, and so we're very appreciative of CarePortal and all it has done.
Yeah, so sorry we're not Lauren. She's really cool, but I'm just so excited to be here. I just wanted to quickly share with you about a youth I had whose refrigerator went out, and he wasn't really in contact with anybody. He called me. He's like, all my food is bad. I need some help. And so I put my CarePortal request in, and it was really exciting. When I showed up, the people who responded not only knew myself and my family, which was funny, but they also knew his boss, and so they kind of hit it off and they made that connection, and it was really cool to see him. And he doesn't have a lot of ties to the community, and they were like, hey, we're going to be checking up on you. We're going to make sure your fridge still works in 2 weeks, and keep working hard. So it was just really neat to see that connection that was made. And when they left, he was like, it's really cool that there are people who will just drop what they're doing and bring you a fridge. And they brought him one, and they helped him haul his off, and so we didn't even have to deal with what do we do with this broken fridge. So as somebody working with transitional aged youth, it's been very helpful and rewarding to be able to just pop in a request that I get overwhelmed, like, I don't know how I'm going to meet this. What are we going to do to support this kid or young adult? And the next thing we know, we just feel really blessed to have somebody stepping in to help us. So I'm so excited to be here, and thank you all in person.
Thank you. And Kristen, that was Kristen. I know she made contact with the young man. So that was cool. All right. So we're going to skip Nicole for 1 second just because it's a video. She wasn't unable to make it. So we're going to do the videos in a row. So I'm actually going to invite Nick up from Spirit Radio.
Spirit Radio is a local radio station that covers from Bakersfield to Fresno, And our mission is to remind listeners that they are loved by God and that their true hope is in Christ. And that goes beyond what we do over the airwaves. That means showing up in our community and being support any way we can. And because we have microphones that blast all over the valley, we want to let people know how they can get help and how other Christians can get involved. And so what we do a lot of is just promote amazing things like CarePortal. You all are involved in some way, so I don't feel like I have to sell you on this, but the idea to me that the church shows up on somebody's worst day is the coolest thing about CarePortal. That it is the church, members of churches all over our community who are showing up when a family is thinking they're about to be broken up. And they're saying, we're going to keep you together. That sounds like good news to me, and is a big door opener for people to receive the gospel. When they're seeing good news, they're more likely to hear good news. It was an easy yes for me to get involved with CarePortal because I am a standing before you statistic of the system. So I was in foster care. I was adopted because there was a Christian family who got involved, and I know the trajectory my life was on, and I know that I wouldn't be here today without a Christian family getting involved. And so for us, we will do whatever we can to make sure that programs like this are highlighted by Spirit and encouraging other businesses to get involved. So part of what we do is just challenge over the airwaves that other businesses would get involved and support. Other nonprofits would join forces. You know, I love knowing that thrift stores are getting involved and helping support in that way. We got to challenge our listeners to raise funds last Christmas for a SpiritNet, which is one of the coolest things. You know, imagine you're 18 years old and you've been in the system and you graduate and your family says, well, we're done. Because that's all they have to do is they can say, we're done. You graduated and we don't have to care for you anymore. What would you do? The SpiritNet is just such a cool program that helps them figure out what to do next. And so, yeah, we're excited to keep partnering with the SpiritNet, with CarePortal, and if you are on the fence about getting involved, just do it and you won't regret it. So.
And then now we have two videos. One is going to be Nicole from Rise Church. They just got involved in CarePortal like in June, July, and they've been rocking it. So she's going to say a word or a little bit about their involvement, and then it will be actually a family testimony, somebody who was served by Tulare First Assembly, their church, and she's been still involved with them, so they have good ties there. So the first will be Nicole from Rise, and then the second will be Sarah. A little bit more about Sarah is actually the part of the request for clothing. The request was for clothing and backpacks, and the clothing was actually funded by Paint and Construction. So that's another way that the businesses have been involved in that request as well.
Hi guys, I am Nicole from Rise Church. I am the Worship and Missions Director here at Rise. It has been such a blessing to be able to partner with CarePortal and really love on these families in our community and being able to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Here at Rise, we believe that the church is not confined to four walls, but we are to go out into the community and be the church and proclaim the gospel and be the hands and feet of Jesus. So being able to partner with CarePortal has been nothing but a blessing. We've had so many cool moments with multiple families through CarePortal and just real God moments with these families. However, there is one that's really highlighted in my heart. It's a single mom with 4 children that were all toddlers. We showed up and we were providing furniture for them. And I remember seeing the kids running around crazy and her trying to get a hold of them. And also on the phone with her dad, trying to give directions to her new place that she was in. And I remember going into it with just a lot of expectations of like, yes, we'll get to pray for her. Yes, we'll get to hear her story. And I was so excited because we were barely starting off on CarePortal. And I remember in that moment, I had told her, hey, like, if you are trying to find a community, please come to Rise Church. We would love to have you. And she said thank you, and she was very appreciative of it. And we loved on her the most that we could, and then we walked away. A couple of the guys left. I was walking away to my car from the apartment, and I remember feeling a little bit discouraged. And I just want to let you all know, don't go into it with expectations. What you can expect, though, is that God is going to use you as a vessel. Answer the call and allow God to use you as a vessel. What you're doing is important, and how you're loving on this community is important. And I just want to say thank you, CarePortal, for what you're doing in this community and how you're supporting the churches here in this community in order to love on these people in our community. I appreciate your hearts. I appreciate you, Camry and Claire, for all you do and for the passion that shows in your work. Thank you so much.
About how the CarePortal and how my caseworker worked with my local church, Tulare first, to help me and my family. It's been a super rough year for me and my kiddos. We lost our home, started living with some family, so we literally lost everything. Clothes, toys, a whole apartment's worth of things. I was starting to get worried after moving in with my mother, living on her couch, about how I was going to be able to provide clothes for my kiddos and backpack school supplies for my kiddos to go to school this upcoming year. It was summer. I reached out to my caseworker in regards to receiving help with providing for my kids. She told me about a program called CarePortal that gets me connected with the local churches to see if there could be possibly someone out there who would love to help or donate to me and my family because we were unable to provide, or I was unable to provide for them. A couple weeks went by and I received a call from a wonderful lady telling me that Tulare's First Church was able to have donated a couple backpacks for my kiddos to go to school. I was ecstatic, super happy, blessed that they would call me and choose to help me and my family and my kiddos. This is my daughter here, Nadia. Say hi, Nadia. Say hi. I was super thankful. And I told her, awesome, thank you so much. So we met up and she delivered the backpacks to me. And we took pictures, smiling, super happy about the backpacks. And yeah, I just felt super blessed by that. I thought, hey, thank you for those, everything. And I was still looking into trying to help get my kids some school clothes. I was looking at the donated clothes and everything, trying to go through that. They didn't have very much, so I was still pretty stressed out about how I was going to get clothes for my kiddos. And I don't know if I was heard, just blessed to get a phone call again from Tulare's First Church, telling me from the same wonderful lady that helped me the first time, told me that there was a private donor that donated money for me and my 3 kids to go shopping and get over $700 worth of clothes for me and my kids. I was in shock, utter shock, and again, just overwhelmed with happiness and just love that someone out there donated to me and my little ones to help us get clothes. My daughter's even wearing one of those outfits right now. Just overall, my experience with this CarePortal and Tulare's First Church, they are awesome. Just this program is so wonderful, and it blessed me and my children, so I didn't have to worry about not being able to provide for my kids. It gave me a little bit of a fresh breath of air so I could focus and worry about making sure I got myself together. I just wanted to thank this church, this program, my caseworker, everyone out there that's helped me and my kiddos. I just wanted to let you guys know how much I appreciate everything you guys are doing to help these families like me out there, with people in situations like myself, with kids that need the little bit of extra help, don't really know how to get out there with asking. I just wanted to thank you guys all again, especially Tulare's First Church. Thank you guys so much for helping me and my family. We are blessed, and we just love everything you guys do for everyone. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. This is my story.
Just a little bit, just kind of what happens now, what's next. I know you guys are on your lunch, so I appreciate you spending your lunch with us, but just what's next? Continue doing what we're doing, continue to care for every child. What if every child in the foster care system was touched by or experienced the love of Christ through the church? So right now, like I said earlier, there's 19 churches. You can go to the next slide. 19 churches, but there's over 40. You can go to the next slide. So there's 19 churches, but then the next slide shows all the red crosses, which means all the churches that haven't been active yet or engaged in CarePortal. So we do have a long way to go here in Tulare County, but like I said, the ones that are involved are doing awesome. But if you have any other friends or neighbors, family that go to other churches that would be involved, you can let me know. There's cards on your table that gets them connected as well. I have business cards on the back table as well. And then whether they want to be a community champion, part of a church, community responder agency, just there's a chair at the table for everybody. So just let me know if you have any questions. And then there are a couple open requests that still haven't been met by the church. This one in particular is 2 young adults went back in with their mom, and they are in need of beds, twin beds, bedding for the twin beds, and then a space heater. I know it's hot right now, but eventually it's going to get cold and their heater does not work. So it's here in Visalia, so if you guys are able to help out, that would be awesome. You can check it out at careportal.org. But there's also a couple other open requests that still need to be fulfilled as well. And then for Point People, there will be a Zoom on October 27 at 12 for anyone who just wants any updates or gets connected with other people that are involved with CarePortal. And then there'll be another community gathering, most likely in January, but I'll let you guys know once we figure that out. And then here's my contact information. If you guys have any questions, you can call me, email me, text me, talk to me after this. I'm always here to answer any questions or help in any way. And I just want to thank you guys all for coming.